Namaskar. Hello, friends. Today we are continuing our discussion about mind. Questioning mind is an obstacle in spiritual progress. Ordinarily, our mind has a tendency to keep questioning why something happened, or why something else did not happen, or when would something happen, etc. This questioning makes us slip away from the present into the past or future. Our revered Sadguru, that is preceptor, says that such questioning is an obstacle on the path of spirituality. If the questions relate to other people and the external situations, they are especially avoidable from a spiritual perspective. However, if my question strictly focuses on myself, then it helps me progress spiritually. In other words, turning the flashlight of the questioning inwards rather than outwards is the right spiritual approach. Also, quickly letting go of the past by learning the essential lesson as quickly as possible and moving on is another essential aspect of it. I will take up a few common situations by way of examples and give my understanding of the appropriate as well as inappropriate questions in each of those situations from a spiritual perspective. First, let us take a situation where I was expecting a promotion in my organization but did not get it. Now, the inappropriate approach to handle this situation would be questioning myself. How could I miss it? And why did that other colleague of mine get it? I am more capable and deserving than him. This is a typical egoistic approach. The spiritual approach would be as follows. I will tell myself, my conscience is clear that I have been working sincerely and to the best of my ability. So missing a promotion is immaterial. My job is to put in my best effort and not bother about the outcome. My colleague getting the promotion is not relevant as far as I am concerned. Let's take another situation. I stumbled over something lying on the floor and hurt my toe. The inappropriate questioning would be, who left that object on the floor? How could she be so careless? But the spiritual approach would be, I will tell myself to be more watchful in future, and that's about all. Yet another situation is of my sickness and my being in pain. The inappropriate questioning would involve the following questions. Why did I have to fall ill? Is it because of something that I ate the other day? When will the pain cease? And when will I become healthy again? Why did I alone have to be bedridden when others are having fun? The spiritual approach would be to tell myself that it is in the body's nature to be healthy sometimes and unhealthy at other times. I will bear the pain so long as I have to, while doing what I can to reduce it and get back to good health. Still, one more situation. I made some mistake in the office work and my boss fired me. The inappropriate questioning would entail the following questions. Why does the boss have to be so nasty? Doesn't everyone commit a mistake sometimes? The boss could have told me more decently and mildly to correct the job instead of firing me and insulting me in the presence of his secretary. The spiritual approach would entail my telling myself that if I made a mistake, I must face the consequences. How the boss handles my mistake is up to him, and I should not say anything about the way he fired me. I should be more careful and double check my work in future. One more final situation that I will talk about is this. On a Sunday, I wanted to relax at home watching a cricket match on TV, but my wife forced me to accompany her for shopping. The inappropriate questions would be the following. What is wrong with my wife? Why can't she go alone sometimes? Or why couldn't she postpone the shopping? Or why couldn't she order some of the urgent stuff from the corner store and leave the rest for the next weekend? The spiritual approach would be as follows. I just tried discussing some of the options, but wife seemed to be keen that we went shopping today itself. Okay, she may be having some reasons of her own, or it may even be simply some quirks of hers today. Let it be. There is no point in pushing my desire too hard. After all, it's only a cricket match, and I can watch the highlights later. So, essentially, as you can see, the inappropriate questioning comes from an egoistic perspective, whereas the spiritual approach is more broad, more wider, from a broader perspective rather than from a narrow egoistic perspective. So it's about always looking at the bigger picture rather than simply a very self-centered one. We humans are driven too much by our mind. We human beings are unique in the sense that we have a mind that is capable of thinking. No other animals have a thinking mind like ours. All other animals are pre-programmed to act and react without there being any thinking process behind their actions and reactions. However, by its very nature, human mind is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, its ability to think can be useful in leading us to the kind of spiritual evolution that only human beings are capable of achieving. On the other hand, however, the thinking mind is also responsible for keeping us down to the worldly pursuits. Take an example. Let us say I didn't have my normal dinner one night for some reason. Maybe I was working late, so I came home and had only a glass of milk before going to bed. The next morning, I would be likely to think that I must eat more than my normal breakfast because I didn't have a normal dinner last night. Of course, if I were genuinely hungry, I should eat as much as my appetite justifies. But more often than not, the body has already called upon its reserves to make up for the lesser calories it got last night. In that case, there wouldn't exactly be any need to make up the next morning for the shortfall of the previous night. In fact, having more breakfast next morning when the body didn't quite need it might cause a problem rather than being beneficial. We will stop here and continue the next time. Until then, thank you and bye.